The Rolling Stones are one of my favorite, if not my favorite, musical acts. Rolling Stone, the magazine, on the other hand, I have nothing but contempt for. Their lists are total ass. What was the most recent hack job that they did? I think they were ranking the most prolific singers, the most important, or whatever they want to put it, however they're going to couch it, regardless. Okay, the 100 most insert whatever descriptor here, singers of all time. Outside of one fringe act, it was just all black women. It's like, okay, cool, fantastic, wonderful. I think Michael Jackson was in the low 30s. It's like, it's total ass, bro. What are you even doing? Like, this is the same outlet that broke the UVA rape hoax, but they were just reporting it as actual fact. So whenever they have a brain dead take like this, okay, we already know. Like, we've already kind of had this inkling that the whole Marilyn Manson and his different accusers, like, that shit is total cap. And then when they drop this, it's like, okay, cool. It just goes out there and confirms all this stuff. Given the fact that one of the accusers, Ashley Morgan Smithline, hopefully I got that right, decided to just turn and flip everything on its head by saying, oh, actually, I just lied about everything. It's like, oh, wow, big shock on that one. But it was Evan Rachel Wood that forced me to make all of those claims. So it's like, okay, cool, it's a cat fight. But then also a man's career, one of the most prominent musical acts, especially the late 90s, early 2000s, because everybody was scared of Marilyn Manson. At least everybody's parents were scared of Marilyn Manson. I was just scared to listen to an entire album because I always thought nu metal and industrial metal was total fucking ass cancer, but that's neither here nor there. Given the fact that I don't care about his music, I don't really like his music. I like Beautiful People as much as, the next person, but outside of that, man, that's not my steez. That's not what I like at all whatsoever. But when an innocent man is having lies put on his name and having his entire career put in jeopardy because of a couple of lying bras just trying to secure the bag, I got problems with that, because if that can happen to Johnny Depp, if that can happen to Andrew Tate, if that can happen to Marilyn Manson, don't you think that the average rank and file guy is also equally as likely to have that happen to them? That's why we have to stand up to any injustice that's out there. There was a wise man that once said, you might have heard of him before, Martin Luther King Jr. An injustice against one is an injustice among all. I know, smart guy. They should almost, have a day set aside from him. I'm thinking like January or something like that. Anyways, online accounts have monetized the misogyny playbook. Misogyny. Evan Rachel Wood is next. Oh my God. The internet calling out liars. It's women most affected. A weird flex. Weird flex that you're associating liars with women, but okay. Rare Rolling Stone W? No, probably not. In February of 2021, statement on Instagram. Actress Evan Rachel Wood said that she was done being silent. Listen, I've formulated all of my lies and I've run out of acting gigs, so I'm just gonna have to go out there and say that Marilyn Manson was doing unspeakable horrors to me. I think. I can't back anything up though. I'm just hoping for a quick settlement. The name of my abuser is Brian Warner, also known to the world as Marilyn Manson. Wood said he started grooming me when I was a teenager and horrifically abused me for years. I was brainwashed and manipulated into submission. Sure you were, sweetheart. It was almost like you were a part of a consensual relationship and then he decided to break it off, and because women are legendary for their inability to take L's because, no simp or anything like that, just stating the obvious. She's a reasonably attractive woman. Chances are she has never been turned down. She has never been told no in her life. And for the first time ever that she had a significant high-profile relationship break off, she, unlike men on a daily basis, has to deal with rejection, while most guys will just go, well, that sucks, and then just walk it off. She just decided to, no, and then just started to crack her knuckles. It's like, oh, we're just getting started. Nobody dumps me. Do you know who I am? I was on Charmed or something. Before the statement, Wood had spent more than 3 years being a vocal advocate for women experiencing domestic assault and abuse. Oh, see, I stand up for these issues. Fucking yuck. You know who else stands up for those types of issues? Eliza Blue. When was the last time you heard from that bitch? But her post was the first time she publicly named Warner. Yeah, Okay, it's almost like you can be an advocate and you could also do like actual work, like, help with domestic violence shelters or hand out ice packs, do some good tangible work that's out there without having to make up your own sob story. But, well, can't win them all, I guess. Whom she met when she was 18 years old as her alleged abuser. Yes, what was her allegation? Started grooming me when I was a teenager. You were a fucking adult. 18 years old is adult. I'm tired of this conflagration of ages when it comes to this stuff, because on one side of the aisle you have these pederasts that are wandering around out there just thinking that, oh yeah, age is just a number, and then on the other side they want to weaponize it when guys have a proclivity for younger legal aged women. Unless of course you're Jack Murphy, then you want the best of both worlds, and it's like 16 is kind of hot, huh? The fucking creep. Wood also said that she hoped to call out the industry that enabled him. Wow, okay, I wonder why the comparisons to Amber Heard just magically start popping up. Sounds fucking familiar, regardless of the fear of retaliation. Oh my god, this is just gonna be so ass cancer. I know, this isn't a long article, but this might take a while. Realistically, outside of a couple of cross names and some people asking for some receipts online, what actual retribution does a woman face by coming forward with just any allegations that are out there? A man bears all of the responsibility. His life, all of his contracts, all of his career prospects are immediately snatched up just like that. Even if it comes out years, months, weeks later that there was nothing to any of those accusations, their life is immediately over and they're immediately tarnished as just, aren't you like an abuser or something like that? Aren't you like a sex trafficker? Oh, you're a domestic abuser. That taint will always be on them going forward. So, yeah, regardless of any of the fear of retaliation, there is no retaliation, okay? There's a couple of broads that went away for an incomparable amount of time, in comparison to the crimes that they were alleging against other guys. But outside of that, man, is Amber Heard going to jail for the times it said that Johnny Depp beat me to the point where I was just about dead and I thought I was going to die on that bed that I picked apart with a Swiss Army knife, or still walking around with a Maker's Mark bottle being cooled in my box. It was all just so horrific. There's still people to this day that unironically hashtag stand with Amber Heard. But if she was beaten that bad, they would be rolling with Amber Heard. Anyways, Warner has denied all of Wood's allegations and in March of 2022 sued Wood for defamation. Yay, good for him. In legal documents, Warner's legal team claimed Wood created a conspiracy to cast him as a rapist and abuser, a malicious falsehood that derailed his successful music, television, and film career. Music, yes. Television and film, you're going to have to provide receipts on that. And since the suit began in earnest, Warner's fans have used their platforms to attack and harass Wood and his other accusers. Hey man, fans are going to do what fans are going to do. I'm just a objective bystander, just also pointing out incongruent behavior and just using some simple pattern recognition. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. We've seen this before. Is there any parallels? Oh, there's quite a few, actually. Last year, Amber Heard, Angelina Jolie, Megan Thee Stallion, and Wood all had accused past celebrity patterns of abuse or violence. And I've talked extensively about Angelina Jolie. I did a video on Megan the Clydesdale, and talked a little bit about Evan Rachel Wood, a couple of different videos. So yeah, well versed in all of the details when it comes to this stuff. Angelina Jolie, probably her biggest discretion, trying to get Fed charges on Brad Pitt. Fed fucking charges. Placing a false police report to try to get an investigation reopened. Like, that bitch is fucking crazy. What do you expect from a bitch who was legendary for sleeping with knives in her bed when she was fucking Billy Bob Thornton? Isn't that a big red flag? Oh, the women were just used to opine for Brad Pitt. Brad's simp. Fuck off. Nice wearing dresses in public. That motherfucker's corrupt. Only to have armies of fans accuse them of lying. They all did. Oh, Megan. Oh, I was shot in the foot by Tory Lanez. It was glass serrations on your foot, you fucking moose. Misrepresented their legal proceedings. Like what? And encouraged misogynistic rhetoric against them. What misogynistic rhetoric? You're a lying bitch. It's the misogyny. It's like, it still doesn't make you any less of a liar. When Heard lost her highly publicized defamation trial, oh my god, we're just about coming up on a year on that start of that trial. Ooh, just trying to do some, just get sturdy here for a second, because boy, that was fun. She told NBC News' Savannah Guthrie that her portrayal on social media played an outsized role in the outcome. You can't actually prove that, so thanks for Rolling Stone to once again miscategorize the evidence facts not in evidence, because we've also heard from jurors who we can take with just about as much certainty as Amber Heard herself. They said that, no, we only took the testimony of Depp and Heard, and then the rest of that shit was just kind of superfluous, and we just thought that, Amber Heard was a lying bitch, and we kind of believed Johnny Depp, so that's why we came to our conclusion. But she's like, no, people are sending me threats wanting to put my baby in the microwave. That's just funny as fuck. What do you think? It's like, I know her kid's name is unfortunately like Oolong or some shit. Big Dragon Ball girl, I guess. Wanted to grow up to be, holy fuck. She wanted to grow up to be Bulma so that she just found her own little Vegeta. Whoa. Just put that together. But no, her kid's name's not Oolong or something like that. It's just got a bunch of fucking O's and looks stupid like that. But it's not really comparable to Orville Redenbacher. So trying to put the kid inside the microwave just because it's got an O to begin the name isn't, don't do that. Also, we never see any, sort of evidence that anybody wanted to put or do anything bad to the kid. All we have is the word of a convicted liar. Liar. A jury of your peers found you to be a liar. Why would anybody take you seriously? I think a vast majority of this trial is played out on social media. It did. It was hilarious. It was a booming time. So much fun to be had. I think that this trial is an example of, when are we getting back around to Evan Rachel Wood? Because again, I went through this entire interview. It's one of the best performing videos on the channel. It's so much fun to do. Anyways, just good times reminiscing over here. I think that this trial is an example that had gone haywire, gone amok, and the jury is not immune to that. Yeah, but they were. If you take them at their word, we could take yours, but you're a liar. A liar. I think even the most well-intentioned juror, yes, of course, everybody's wrong except for Amber, right? Like, who couldn't trust that face? It's funny. It's funny because back in the cut, holy shit. Like, when she had that coke body going, oh, man. But now, they're just a mid-30s liar. Sucks to suck, I guess. But in the end, Heard's case didn't end the attacks. Yeah, there was a bunch of self-inflicted shit when her and her representation were heading around doing the interview circuit and everybody was just laughing at her. But everything else that she's done now, outside of those stunt appearances at, TJ Maxx in a grocery store, nobody fucking cares. Like, whenever your name gets brought up, it's like, oh yeah, she's a better storyteller than she is an actor. And that's really not saying all that much, but does anybody really care going forward? It's like, just fuck off. You're irrelevant. But yeah, Amber Heard, big target on her back, creating a playbook of misogyny that puts famous women and their reputations on trial. Funny enough, because their accusations are also putting famous men and their reputations on trial, but because women most affected, then now we need to point it out. Oh, see, that was that list that I was talking about. Greatest singers of all time. Greatest song, that's probably some, I don't know, fucking Aretha Franklin or some dumb shit like that. That was their #1 best singer of all time. Get fucked. Fucking sing the national anthem again at, WrestleMania 3. Here's how it works. A celebrity, usually a woman, alleges a past partner has been abusive or violent. Yeah, because if it's a man that comes forward and says, oh, I was actually beaten and the tip of my finger was cut off by the bird I was seeing before. It's actually really terrible. Everybody laughs him out of the fucking building because men get to suffer in silence. But yeah, if you provide documentation, if you actually, show up with the goods, people, more importantly, the courts and the law enforcement officers will believe you. Outside of that, man, you just look like you're trying to clout jack or run somebody's pockets real quick. Documents are filed and journalists begin to report on the case. And yeah, 9 times out of 10, journalists are motivated to check whoever's writing this article. Shouldn't be online, it should be on fucking toilet paper. Online accounts that have commented on at least one case in the past glom onto the coverage. often directly co-opting reporting and then twisting its findings. These accounts are usually run by people who hop from case to case. This is one of those things where it's like, we want to say Tug's name directly, but we don't actually want to say it. We just want to vaguely allude to it. So he's just going to hop from case to case because he was the dude who was in the trenches 100% of the time. Back when it wasn't even cool to put Amber Heard on blast, he was putting that bitch on blast, and he received all of his roses, and he got all of the credit due to that one. And now it was very highly publicized by the likes of, oh, who's that old bitch? Taylor Lorenz and a couple of the other broads. It's like, now he's just going to be hopping. He's going to be taking all of his misogyny off to Evan Rachel Wood and expose her truth. Like, fucking yuck. If she's cut from the same cloth, she deserves the same treatment. Like, come on. There's a reason that there's mandatory minimums for first-degree murder. If there's somebody that commits a same crime, if somebody shoots somebody in the face and then 5 years later another person shoots somebody else in the face, they're more than likely, if most of the underlying facts are the same, they're going to get the same punishment. So fucking, yo man, is this a foreign concept? Are we getting too big brained on this one? These accounts are usually run by people who hop from case to case, taking the side of the famous man involved in using the account's past notoriety in the cases to draw new and return viewers. Yeah, exactly. Say Tug without saying Tug. Outside interest of infamous names means video pop up in searches. Yeah, Rolling Stone just big mad that there's no longer a monopoly when it comes to the information. See, hardworking journalists used to just have exclusive access to this, but now there's goddamn independent sources that do a better job and actually run the facts instead of spin a narrative, which you're just really horrible on. And because platforms like YouTube allow accounts like this to exist, next time when you run this back, just try to veil your contempt for more successful people that's out there. Like, jealousy isn't a good look under the guise of commentating, and the videos can be monetized, letting the cash roll in. Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't speak to other people that are out there, but because, I'm on a much smaller level, part of this as well, if it's compelling, if it's interesting, I'm going to talk about it. If there's truths to be had when it comes to this, of course, I think that the world deserves to know a thing or two about this stuff. And then also, if there's also an agenda, if there's an agenda being pushed on top of that, if there's media sources that are just trying to tell you that you're wrong for taking a look at this stuff, you gotta call that stuff out as well, because forever and ever and ever, the media has had the exclusive domain at disseminating the facts. And maybe they've always just been like this, but because there's competition that is outshining them, now they're just mad, and because they're in their death throes and there's no print media anymore, everything is online, everything is at your disposal, they're failing in the marketplace of open ideas because, oh, I write for Rolling Stone and that used to mean something. Yeah, you're right. That used to mean something. This is the cutting edge. If you were as engaging, if you were even a fraction as engaging as the likes of Tug and guys that also talk, that Brian fella, running back all of those tapes, all of that evidence that exposed Amber Heard as a fucking liar, because when she first came out with all of those allegations, everybody was on her side. I wasn't, because I always have a healthy level of skepticism, but everybody thought, oh my god, Johnny Depp, he's just that evil abuser, he's just going to come over with a right hook and just beat the brakes off of that helpless Amber Heard. And then as more and more evidence started to come out and poop started to show up on other people's beds, and it's like, oh, she's actually crazy. But if it was left up to the media, oh no, none of that would have came out. And if there wasn't video cameras inside that courtroom, nobody would have known any of that stuff as well. So yeah, the media wants to protect all women. They want you to believe all women. Meanwhile, independent sources want you to believe all facts. And if they fall on the side of the woman, hey man, by all means, you just go where the story leads you. And if it goes on the side of the man, hey, it's actually that's a lie. And then the media ends up with egg on their face, and we all know how the cycle goes. Since Wood's first claim, Warner's fans have continued to support him, similar to how stans rallied around Depp during his lawsuit against Heard. I can't dispute the fact that, yeah, there were just people hopping on the bandwagon in order to support Johnny Depp because it was cool at the time. It was the trending topic that was out there. But then, of course, there were people who knew the story, knew what was going on as well. It's like, oh, okay, well, there might have been some new stuff gleamed from the case itself. It's just automatically you knew that Amber kind of set everything up and she was kind of embellishing some stuff. And, oh, that's not a bruise. That's just a very poorly painted on bit of makeup. Earlier this month, accounts doubled down on their harassment after Warner accuser Morgan Smithline, get the fucking name right, recanted her testimony and claimed that she had been manipulated by Wood and others to lie about their relationship with Warner. Wood had denied Smithline's accusations. Wow, imagine that. Well, we need to stand with her because she's telling the truth, even though the world and everybody else associated with this case is saying she's kind of a liar. But hey, man, it's kind of like that old saying, when you point an accusation of somebody, there are three fingers pointing back at you. Very profound. A representative for Wood previously told the Rolling Stone that they believe outside harassment may have played a role in Smithline's reversal. Or she just didn't have the goods and came forward with that because she filed the petition in the courts. So, yeah. But then you also take a look at her history, and she has a history of lying in and of itself. But I think that's misogyny, right? Yeah, no, of course. One example, an account with more than 600,000 subscribers had posted at least 8 videos surrounding the Warner Wood trial. Okay, and all of which accuse Wood of trying to defame Warner and derail his career. Cool. Seems like they ended up coming out correct on that one. I don't know which account that is, nor do I really care. The videos, the majority of which are sponsored, have made the creator at least $2,000 on views alone. Okay, and according to calculations made by Rolling Stone, we always know that they're accurate. Oh, we went to Playboard and we figured out that person makes either $12 or $15 million on their YouTube account. Shit's super accurate. Like outside of those automatic, I forget what the fuck it's called, but those automatic super chat calculators, the rest of that shit is wildly inaccurate. YouTube gives creators who are part of the platform's partner program, which allows users to meet certain criteria to run ads and monetize their content. 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Roughly $3 to $5 per 1,000 views. Hardy fucking har. I can tell you without getting into any specifics, that's just not the case at all whatsoever. I have several videos that are over 1,000 views. Like, I could run down everything in particular. Some videos will make, I'm thinking of one with a couple thousand views. They might end up making on just simple ad revenue, $11 or $12. Those ones weren't fully monetized for the entire time anyway, so that's a little bit sketchy. But then I have other ones that had monetization on them as well, with similar view counts, couple of cents. No shit. So yeah, there's no proper way unless you have access to the back end, to the studio. When it comes to that stuff, you're never gonna fucking know. And Lord have mercy, if Rumble actually takes off like they're threatening to do, their CPM, their monetization, holy, blows the fuck out of that $3 to $5 per. No lies, man. Like Rumble has potential. Anyways, another popular account who has accused both Wood supporters and female reporters of trying to frame Warner has posted at least 23 videos. That's probably Tug. 23 videos in the Warner suit in the past 3 months, each of which not only refers to Warner as innocent, but directs viewers to donate to the creator's Patreon for more Warner updates. Maybe I will retract that for a second, because I don't know if he actually does that. I don't think he does. So that could be wrong. That could be wrong. The videos have a total of 193,000. Oh, then it's definitely not Tug, because each video would have 193,000 views. Oh, the fuck no. 23 videos, 193,000 views. Yo, if this is a big problem, that's not all that impressive, really. You're just picking on a small creator right there, you fucking hacks. Wood isn't the only celebrity to have found herself the target of online misinformation and harassment. Megan Cuniff, okay, a trial reporter in Los Angeles tells The Stone that when she covered the trial of rapper Tory Lanez, that trial wasn't televised and you had to go off of media reports. Interesting. Now you're gonna just try to say that, oh, people were subject to misinformation. Well, it was up to the media to report this shit, so we can only go on what is being reported by the media. media, so you were feeding bad information, and then all of a sudden now you can play the victim because you had already laid that groundwork. See what's happening? Shocked by how much misinformation bloggers were able to successfully spread about the victim, rapper Megan the Clydesdale. One thing that struck me was how wrong some of these people were. Yeah, that's fantastic. I was just like, these people have no idea what they're talking about. Well, it's also your job. You are a trial reporter in Los Angeles to put out the facts. But did you? No. In December of 2022, Lanez Daystar Peterson, that's his actual name, stage name, Tory, was found guilty of shooting Megan in both feet. Interesting. I think it's so crazy that people are able to get online and publish anything that is not 100% fact. She said, yeah, but this is a bitch who went on multiple different Instagram lives and just told a different account of facts. But that's all right. She's a strong, independent boss babe who twerks on She-Hulk. Fuck off. Cunniff grew a following online for producing trial updates and were informed and detailed. Oh, okay, cool. Because they side with you and you got an interview from her, that means that she's informed and detailed, right? No, she's the expert when it comes to this stuff. There's a whole monetization of trials that's going on. Shout out Nick Rekieta. People who just want to get clicks. No, people who find a story interesting do want clicks. Obviously, you want to cultivate an audience off of a story, but I don't know. I guess I can only speak for myself in this situation and other people that, I respect and have communications with. They find a story that they want to talk about because they find it interesting and they can provide value on the topic. They don't do it exclusively for clicks. Some people are just unabashed grifters, but they kind of fizzle out after a point in time. But anyways, there's an irresponsibility in the exploitation that comes with breathlessly covering this stuff on the YouTube-like fashion. Okay, cool, but she also has an online following. Great, but her stuff is informed and detailed. Care to disseminate any of that stuff? Or you could also be like Myron from Fresh and Fit. He has his own little channel as well. Fed it. It actually isn't little at all. It has 130 some odd thousand subscribers. And when he took a look at this case as well, he also got the medical reports and figured out that, there was glass lacerations on Megan the Clydesdale's feet, that it wasn't bullet holes or anything like that. So very interesting. And then there was conflicting reports, which I don't know how you get that. It's like, okay, there is no bullet fragments and then there are bullet fragments. But to say that she was shot in the feet, in both feet, at best, there's bullet fragments. At worst, it was glass lacerations. So to say that she was shot in the feet, Rolling Stone. Come on. According to Ruth Glenn, President of Public Affairs and National Domestic Violence, yes, and only women can be victims of domestic violence. Oh, I don't even want to read the rest of this shit because it's just all fucking ass cancer. Listen, bro, they're just big mad because we're supposed to believe all women, but when you hold up your examples that are out there, Evan Rachel Wood, Amber Heard, Megan the Clydesdale, and Angelina Jolie, and you try to say, no, they're not liars, it's just you're misogynists, you're not going to get very far with your coverage. But hey man, that's just kind of the story of Rolling Stone in a nutshell. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.